In this lesson, we're going to simplify algebraic expressions using our subtraction rules. And so just again, algebraic expressions are expressions that contain variables. So we will have variables in our answers. And all we're doing is simplifying or making as few terms as possible, eliminating any parentheses that we see, and not leaving any terms uncombined. Okay, just as a reminder, we can always change minus to plus and change the sign of the next number as long as it is helpful for you to do so. If it ever becomes a burden or a time waster, that's when you stop doing it, because at some point you're going to mature enough where you no longer need to do this, and you'll just be able to look at the problem and see what needs to be done. Until that happens, and throughout this lesson, we will continue to change minus to plus and change the sign of the next number, but it should be getting easier for you the more you do it. So if you can subtract without writing in addition form, I think that's great. And at some point, I want you to do that, but don't feel like you have to do that until you're ready. So here's an example for us. 2 plus 3x minus 8x. So remember, whenever we say minus, we change minus to plus, and we change the sign of the next number. So now I have x terms here and a constant. Since I only have the one constant, I'm going to keep that, but I'm also going to combine my x terms. So 3x plus negative 8x makes negative 5x, because 3 and negative 8 have different signs. We subtract, use the sign of the larger number. So now I have 2 plus negative 5x. But you know, anytime you have double signs like this, it is confusing for someone to read. So whenever our answer contains plus negative, we're going to change that back to a minus. You know, this, instead of saying plus negative, we can say minus, because we know that if we change minus to plus and change the sign of the next number, we'll get this back. So these two are equivalent, and this one is simpler to type and to read, so this is the one that we use. Simpler is always better. And here's another example. Let's look at negative 4x minus 9y minus 2x plus 12y. So you notice I used the word minus twice, so this is going to become negative 4 plus negative 9y, negative 4x plus negative 9y plus negative 2x plus 12y. And now let's combine like terms. I have a negative 4x and a negative 2x. Those are both negative. We will add them and use their sign. And on the y terms, I have negative 9y and positive 12y. Those are different signs. I will subtract them and use the sign of the larger number. So that was positive, so I just wrote plus 3y. One more. 13 minus negative 7x plus 4x minus negative 11. So everywhere I use the word minus, I change minus to plus and change the sign of the next term. So I did that here. I'll do it here as well. Okay, now that all I have are plus signs, let's combine like terms. It does not matter whether you choose to work with the constant terms first, the non-variables, or whether you choose to work with the x's first. Just pick one and go with it. So I pick the x's. Let's say 7x plus 4x is 11x. Now on the constants, 13 plus 11 is 24. And that's all there is to that.